guys, welcome back to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. As always, I'm your host, Gavin Soden, and I'm joined by
Matthew Lepore.
And today we're going to be continuing our discussion of the best and the worst movies spanning the last 20 years. Actually, more than that, 20, because we're going up till this year, so 24 years, or 23 years, I guess, because we're stopping in 2023, I believe. And so yeah, we're continuing our discussion. But today we're adding a little bit of a twist. So the first 2 weeks... All right. The first 2 weeks that we decided to upload these, we just strictly did the best and the worst from that year, rated by IMDb. However, today we're also going to be incorporating sprinkling, some may say. I really don't like it. Sprinkling some of the movies that we find to be the best and the worst for ourselves that we've seen. So, without further ado, why don't you hit us off first with the best movie of 2016?
And what if I don't want to?
I guess then we're just going to sit here and stare at each other. And I can look at your face and you can look at my face.
Some would say that we would be stuttering in silence.
Stuttering.
Anyways, taking us away, the best movie of 2016 was Your Name. This was like an animated film. It's kind of like an anime type situation. It's done by Co-Mix Wave Films. Some of the films that might come to mind if you think about it, 2016 are Kubo and Two Strings, Moonlight, and The La La Land. However, the best film from 2016 and the best film so far in the 21st century, we might add, we are ranking this as, I'm not even going to pronounce this masterpiece's person's name, is Makoto Shikai. Oh, look. Your Name is the kind of movie that is stunning to observe and will absolutely obliterate your emotions. The film with Takai and Mitsuha. Cody's gonna love this because he definitely saw this. He's an anime. He is an anime guy. As they navigate the mysterious phenomenon, they form a unbreakable bond. Friendship and love is tested to the truth, and the timelines throughout this are very clear and very cunning. So people like that. Your Name is a must-watch no matter what kind of films you enjoy watching, and it has a phenomenal score. So speaking of scores, it gets a 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Your Name scored a 8.4, on the IMDb. I'm not reading correctly today. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's pretty good.
Nice.
Oh, okay. This is Metacritic. I thought it was Metacritic. I was preparing myself.
Dude, I'm here for the Metacritic score.
You're here for the Metacritic.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay. All right. Well, do me a favor. You can Metacritically.
Okay. You know what? I'm not even finish that sentence because I want the Metacritic score.
I don't have the Metacritic score on this one. We can look it up, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
Crunchyroll, which is actually how I know this because of Cody, because he watched a lot of anime. Crunchyroll gave it a 4.9 out of 5. A lot of their website is like anime stuff and things like that.
It's mainly anime.
I
think it might be all be anime. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've only ever used it for anime. So.
Anime. But with our twist today, the best movie I thought out of that year, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are seeing, and it's kind of ironic because now the new Deadpool just came out. Yeah, I knew you were gonna get this one. Although I will say, to your credit, you know your movies and your years because you were naming a bunch of movies around that time. It was Deadpool. This was fantastic. This mainstreamed a lot of those like fourth wall breaks, which I mean it was already mainstream, but like he really Ryan Reynolds really honed in on the comic portion of it.
Yeah.
And Rotten Tomatoes gave this an 85%. And then the IMDb gave it a 8 out of 10. And
no, so what's the third score?
I don't even see. This is why I hate Metacritic, Gavin. This is exactly why I hate Metacritic.
Okay.
Because all these other ones, right, are scoring it so high, but Metacritic gave it a 65%.
Wow.
I know.
65 out of 100.
Can you just say you hate Metacritic with me?
Well, why did I can't actually because it's. I think it's honestly now that I think about it realistically, I would agree that you could really look at their rating system and understand where they're coming from, because if you really look at Deadpool critically, you can you, you can fuck about Metacritic.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Anyway,
But yeah, so I really love Deadpool. It was one of those funny movies that has action packed, everything you love to see, and of course it had Ryan Reynolds, who is the apple of my eye. I mean, the apple of women's eye, Blake Lively's eye. Anyways, so along with all that, that is my choice for the best movie of 2016. And now I'm going to critically pass the torch over to you, and you can talk about the amazing movies of 2016.
well, I'm going to talk about the scores for the most meta movies of 2016. No, so the listed through IMDb worst movie of 2016 is a movie called Holidays, and Holidays is.
Okay.
Have you seen that? Possibly,
I might have.
Out of all the movies,
I know.
So Holidays is listed as a anthology feature film that puts a uniquely dark and original spin on some of the most iconic and beloved holidays of all time by challenging our folklore, traditions, and assumptions. It was rated a 5.1% on IMDb and coming in hot with a Metacritic score of 50, which is actually decently high for some of the worst movies that we've seen
See,
so far.
that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't trust Metacritic.
Well, I'm just saying. It's directed by Anthony Scott Burns, Kevin Kolsch, and Nicholas McCarthy,
Nice.
starring Madeline Coughlin, Savannah Kennick, and Rick Peters. So, and I just want to take a quick second here to kind of elaborate on why we added a little bit of a sprinkle here. So, obviously, we've been doing this for a few weeks, as you know, and I just felt like not seeing a movie that's listed here,
Sure, yeah.
doesn't have the same impact as having a movie that we've obviously seen, and we can talk a little bit more critically and have a little bit more to say about some of the stuff that we've obviously
Say critically again.
lay our eyes on Metacritic, and be able to kind of put it into words that everyone can understand. So, and kind of have like more of an opinion, not just a fact, because you can sit here and say, hey, this movie sucked, and everyone's like, cool, but
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, I would agree.
So that was listed as what was the worst movie according to IMDb of 2016. However, I think the movie that I enjoyed the least from 2016 has got to be Man vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And
Really?
I'll tell you why. Well, here, let me give you a little brief synopsis of the movie and break it down for you. So, Batman vs. Superman is one of the highest grossing films of 2016. It has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, with a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 44% on, you guessed it, Metacritic. So what it says here, it says it's been nearly 2 years since Superman's colossal battle with Zod devastated the city of Metropolis. The loss of life and collateral damage left many feeling angry and helpless, including crime-fighting billionaire Bruce Wayne. Convinced that Superman is now a threat to humanity, Batman embarks on a personal vendetta to end his reign on Earth, while the conniving Lex Luthor launches his own crusade against the Man of Steel. That's what the movie is supposed to be. It sounds cool. Good idea. However, it did gross high because it was one of the most anticipated films of the last 20 years, and kind of sucked. Not gonna lie to you. I didn't enjoy it that much. I was more so, I would say I was more so upset at the fact that it wasn't as good as everyone had hoped.
Sure.
Because we had been. Did you ever see I Am Legend?
Yes, I have seen I Am Legend.
So, funnily enough, with I Am Legend, you can actually see a poster for Batman and Superman, Batman versus Superman, in that movie. That movie came out in 2009. This movie, 7 years after the fact, it comes out. This is what everyone's been talking about for years. It had been teased years prior at one of the Comic-Cons. And guess what? It missed the mark. And I'll tell you why it missed the mark. You have a movie where you have two of the, like, basically some of the faces of DC Comics.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so many comic books to where Batman goes against Superman. You have so many different stories that you could tell, and you decide to make it as boring as humanly possible. And then on top of that, throw in quite literally could be the worst plot twist I've ever seen.
What was the twist?
All right, so it came out in 2016, so if you haven't seen it, it's your own fault. So basically, the movie, it starts off where you see two different sides of the same coin, where you see, obviously, Man of Steel, Superman fights Zod to protect humanity, so on and so forth, and he destroys the city. He actually destroys a small town and a city. Then in this movie, you get to see Bruce Wayne's perspective of the same event, and he's going into the rubble trying to save as many people as he can. One of his employees, like one of his buildings, is destroyed, so his employee dies. Like, it's a big thing. So then he has this personal vendetta against Superman, saying, hey, you're not safe for the people. You're not safe for humans to be here, because without you if you weren't here, Zod would have never came to Earth. If you weren't here, this wouldn't have happened, so on and so forth.
Sure.
And the whole movie is that's how it starts. That's what the first three quarters of the movie is Batman figuring out how to kill Superman. And Superman basically coming at some point, they come face to face with each other, and Superman's basically like, yo, slow your roll, I'm Superman, dog, don't die, and then dips. Batman's like, I'm gonna kill you, that's it. And then the movie's going on, and we see more of the inside of like courtrooms and one-on-one meetings with senators and generals and CEOs and Lex Luthor, and it's so boring. It's like watching like an Elon Musk documentary. Like it is so boring.
Would you watch an Elon Musk documentary?
I would unironically watch an Elon Musk documentary. But we're talking about a superhero movie where the superheroes aren't superheroing. Okay? We see more of Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent than we do of Batman and Superman. And we're like an hour and a half into this movie. And the only time I think we've seen Batman twice and Superman twice. Maybe. Yeah, twice or three times. We're not seeing them come to, we see Batman training, we see Superman having sex. We see, this is the intense makeout scene, man. It's not intense, but it's a makeout scene, showing off the body a little bit. And then we get all the way to the climax of the buildup of this movie.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman, one-on-one, rolling them hands. And Batman hits him with some kryptonite gas, beats him down, has him just beat up, slices his face with a kryptonite tip spear, has the spear right over Superman, about to stab him in the face. He's about to stab him in the face. And this man, Superman, goes, save Martha. Save Martha. The reason he said that is because Lex Luthor has his mom kidnapped. That's why he was going to go fight Batman eventually. That's what Lex had taken his mom, and he's like, got to kill Batman. If you can do that, da-da-da-da-da. And I'll save your mom. So he says, save Martha. Batman stops in his tracks and starts screaming at him like a senile old man. Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? Lois Lane appears from literally thin air. Mind you, they're in a decrepit building crumbling because they're fighting in it, breaking it down. And now they're on like one of the bottom levels. Here just comes Lois Lane running in, just woo. And she comes over to Superman. She jumps in front of the spear and she's like, that's his mom's name. The reason for that being the twist is because that's the same name as Batman's mom that was killed.
Okay. That's bad.
And then Batman just goes, oh, word? We're cool, bro. Our moms have the same name? We're cool, man. You know what? Let me just get rid of this spear. Launches it into the ocean and is like, you know what, man? Let's be friends. And then the action ends the movie and Superman dies. It just...
Sounds like a really good movie.
We were waiting so long for that movie. We were waiting so
And they dropped
long.
it like that.
And they dropped
Wow.
it. And I mean, it was like the humans were trying to say that Superman wasn't safe for the world, so that he was in courtrooms being interrogated, or, he was like going on, he was like being like litigated for this, that, and a third, and It was just not. Nothing hit the mark. They miscast Lex Luthor because Jesse Eisenberg would have played a excellent Riddler, like probably the best live action Riddler we've ever seen.
This Batman.
But he plays Lex Luthor, and he acted like the Riddler. Like it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Jesse Eisenberg's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I love almost everything he's in. Not this. Anyway, I digress.
And weeks, months.
I had to take it off the gas a little. Take it off the gas. But yeah, that's the movie that I think I hated the most out of 2016, specifically because of those reasons. That's all I'll say.
You needed to get that one out, didn't you?
Yeah, that was bubbling. I forgot how much I hated that movie. And it's one of the highest grossing simply because it's the movie that everybody thought they were going to go see. It sold out opening weekend. People were freaking out.
And they dropped it.
Anyway, lay on me the best movie and your favorite movie of 2017.
I don't know if I want to talk about it. I think I might just let you rant for next hour on the Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Anyways, Call Me By Your Name.
That's the...
No, like really Call Me By Your Name was the best movie in 2017. It was a Sony Pictures classic, unlike that Batman and Superman movie. 2017 was a truly special year for this film. It gave us our special year for film in general. Gave us Lady Bird, The Shape of the Water, Blade Runner 2049. So this LGBTQ plus coming of age book to film adaptation follows a young boy named Elio Perlman. Timothy Chalamet was in there, and as he slowly finds his own love story with his father's intern and student Oliver, and it's played with by Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer?
Oh,
Armie
I
Hammer?
think I've
Armie Hammer. This film has a especially melancholy and calm aesthetic with this heavy emotional atmosphere. Also with Elio's father gives him one of the most heartbreaking and wrenching monologues that you need to experience. And this experience is only best if you see it. You, other people that you know. So this movie, once again, haven't seen it. Hence the whole point of us doing our own movies. Sprinkle it on there. I'm sure it's a great movie. Not my cup of tea, but if people are saying it's fantastic, I'm sure it is. Everyone likes a good heart-wrenching love story when people get to find who they are and what their purpose is and things like that. IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Oh wait, no, I messed that up. I did not put the IMDb for this movie.
Wow.
I am slacking. But to continue on, I'm sure that I was going to say, I think I did it backwards. But for the IMDb, that I got this from their website, for them to say that this was their number one choice, probably in the high nines. I don't even want to know what the Metacritic score is because they're just so amazing.
They're so amazing. They're literally the best.
I hate you. But my choice for 2017 is one that involves a lot of water.
If you say... No, it couldn't be that year. A lot of water. It's not Aquaman.
No.
Because that was 2018, I think. The Avengers.
What? Oh, no. Indeed not. This is Pirates of the Caribbean. Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales. This was one of my favorite movies of all time. I am a big proponent in loving these movies, these series. I used to have a probably like a book or something like that from like those Scholastic book fairs. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. You got Davy Jones's like locker, and it would have like a key that would open up like the big.
Yeah,
I think I still have it somewhere.
Do you?
Maybe that's the next tattoo. I don't know. Thus, into the all-new adventure, a down-on-his-luck Captain Jack Sparrow feels the winds of a ill fortune blowing even more strongly than it ever has before. Captain Salazar escapes from the Devil's Triangle. Jack's only hope of survival lies in the seek of this legendary trident up beside him. But to find it, he must forge an uneasy alliance with a brilliant and beautiful astronomer, and has to head and get rid of all of his counterparts with the British Navy and everything like that.
I have a thought.
What?
I have a question. Because you know more about these movies than I do, because I've only seen them a couple times. What? Isn't that kind of the blueprint to every one of those movies?
100%.
Is it?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like when you were describing it, I kind of feel like that's the same kind. Because it's like that's what every movie is. It's like, hey, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. All the odds are against me because everybody hates me. Oh, wait, super hot girl is going to be a part of the group. Oh, wait, another person that we really don't want a part of the group is going to be a part of the group because we need them to solve this big thing. Oh, we get captured. Guess what? The person that we didn't want saves our butt. And then we use more people to then take down the big baddie and find the gold. But guess what? Psych, something else happens. Next movie. And then it repeats.
So the Disney producers are pretty much right on the money with all that. They collectively, every time, are almost exactly like that.
Gotcha.
When he got the black spot on his hand, odds were against him. Meets this beautiful mystic, witch or whatever it is, and she helps him, and then all this kind of stuff as it translates through. It's all the same thing, but it's really cool. I always loved it as a kid because when it all kind of came out, here's this massively cool pirate movie.
Yeah,
Jack Sparrow. He's doing his as he's running.
Yeah.
The
Sparrow Run.
The Sparrow Run. Yeah. So I always thought it was cool. It definitely was one of those things where I'm never gonna forget it. So.
Right. Well, I would agree. I mean, I think those movies that when they came out, it was definitely revolutionary. It's definitely one of the best movie franchises, I think, for not only for Disney, but I think just in general, just because for how the longevity of it,
Yeah.
Because it's been going, since like 2005? Something like that. We're talking about 20 years.
Yeah. But real quick, this was...
Lay it on me.
IMDb.
Okay.
Gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Whoa.
It's
not high nines like you had anticipated.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
This is one of the highest scores I've seen.
99?
Yeah.
100?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was 98, actually.
98.
98.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Do I need to fact check you there?
No, that would suck if you did.
All right.
Some would say that the Rotten Tomatoes is 30%, but I personally think it's higher.
Uh-huh. So, well, you have to adjust for inflation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it was, remember, 2017, everything was graded on a curve.
Right.
Right. So, really, inflation plus the curve, I could see easily high 80s.
Yeah.
Low 90s.
Yeah. Cool. And then,
Is there a third score in there?
No, actually.
No? You sure?
Yeah.
You positive? Yeah. All right.
HIV, actually.
Oh, okay. So should I
39% Metacritic. But I think it's it's my choice.
Mhm.
My choice.
I understand.
I think we should pass it over to you, my friend.
Pass it over to me. Pass me the rock. Like I'm Kobe down the stretch. 2017's quoted worst movie is considered to be The Dark Tower, directed by Nikolaj Arcel, starring Idris
One of these
Elba.
days, they're going to give you an easy name.
One of these days. Idris Elba, or Idris, I don't remember the correct pronunciation of his first name. Matthew McConaughey and Tom Taylor. This is
No, right.
Oh. Anyway. A little synopsis here is a boy haunted by visions of a dark tower from a parallel reality teams up with the tower's disillusioned guardian to stop an evil warlock known as the Man in Black, who plans to use the boy to destroy the tower and open the gates of hell. This was rated a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb and coming in with a whopping 34 on Metacritic with a 34%. So I don't think I've seen the full movie. I remember seeing bits and pieces of it. Basically, Matthew McConaughey's the bad guy. Idris Elba's the good guy. It was based off of a really, really popular book. I don't remember if it was a book series or just one book, but I remember it being being a book, and the book doing really well and everybody really enjoying it. However, the movie came out and it flopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So this is pretty bad.
I feel like that happens a lot though, where like people love this book and then they drop the movie.
I think in the mid or like the early 2010s to the mid 2010s, where a lot of book adaptations were coming out. You know, like you had like the Hunger Games, you had the Divergent series, which we touched on last week.
Right.
They had the Fault in Our Stars.
I never read or watched that.
That was actually a good one, but according to the ratings. But
didn't you?
We're not. I didn't leave.
Laugh them too.
Yeah. So the funny part about it is a lot of the movies did really well in the first go around, and then the second, third, for whatever it was, kind of flopped. Exception being the Hunger Games. I would say the Hunger Games seemed to do well overall. Yeah. No, I would agree. But you're gonna like this one,
dude. I swear, I promise. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay. The worst, my opinion, the worst movie of 2017. Would you like to take a guess at the franchise? All I'm going to say is it's out of this world.
If you say Harry Potter,
no.
Okay.
Harry Potter didn't come out a movie in 2017, did it?
I just had to check.
Okay. No, it's much worse than that. I would even agree.
Out of this
Star Wars.
Spaceballs!
Yogurt. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. I would be the worst movie of 2017. Once again, one of the highest grossing movies of the year.
It's Disney, dude.
Disney, they're going to be up there. They're putting up numbers. They're locked in. Coming in with a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. And a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No way.
With an 80, you're going to love this one, an 84% on Metacritic. You all right over there?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I had to let that go a little bit.
I can't begin to tell you why it's rated so high, because it's not that good.
You didn't like Ray?
No.
But Ray's
wait, hold on. Ray the character, I don't have a problem with. I think it's cool. I think the idea that you have a really powerful Force user that isn't sure of where she came from, but understanding like she has this immense power is awesome. I think it's great. Problem we run into is when you take every single aspect of what would make the movie good, and then you get rid of it. And then you take things that straight up spit in the face to the fans, and then put that in there. And then you say, guess what, guys? Here we are. This movie, I hated it. I hated it every second of watching this. And I don't care what you say in the comments. I don't care. I hated it. But if you haven't seen it, basically, Luke. The synopsis here is Luke Skywalker's peaceful and solitary existence gets upended when he encounters Rey, a young woman who shows strong signs of the Force. Her desire to learn the ways of the Jedi forces Luke to make a decision that changes their lives forever.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Kylo Ren and General Hux lead the First Order in an all-out assault against Leia and the Resistance for supremacy of the galaxy. This was bad, in my opinion. It basically so. All right, let me not try to go on a rant here, but basically, Star Wars got a really bad rap in the early 2000s for the movies that were coming out, for the prequels.
Yeah.
bad use of CGI in a lot of areas, with the exception of the third one. But even all of them got their fair shake at hatred of being hated. Like even the third one, everyone loves it now in our generation, but back then everyone hated it because it wasn't up to snuff from the original trilogy. This movie, you know, it was just kind of a perfect reason or a perfect example of like why this last couple of movies didn't need to happen, because you're taking a story that we've been hearing or like expanding on a story that we've been following very closely for the past 40 years, right? We have everything set in stone. The characters are who they are. This is their motives. This is their reasoning. This is why they do things.
Okay.
It defines who they are.
Yeah, 100%.
They, with this movie, just took all of that and threw it out the window just to put another face on a screen.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think it was like we need to get a girl in here?
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I think a movie revolving around a female protagonist learning that you can make her the strongest ever in existence, fine, but do it the right way. Lead up to that. It took widely considered to be the strongest Force user besides Palpatine would be Anakin Skywalker, and it took 3 movies to go from him being a kid to him turning into Darth Vader.
Yeah,
right. But they did a very good job in those 3 movies of showing his motives, showing how little bits and pieces here is swaying him in a certain direction, right? With this movie, it was basically like, hey, I'm a, you know, and the thing is, they tried to copy Anakin's background.
Yeah.
Put her on a sand planet. Make her, not necessarily, I don't know if she was considered a slave, but she was definitely considered to be, like, she was definitely poor and working and getting verbally abused and like whatever. And then all of a sudden, and we're talking about the last movie, but all of a sudden, she's now in the mix of fighting for the galaxy. Okay. First movie, fine. Sure. A Force Awakens, okay. Not great. No, it was okay. I didn't mind it. And then you come in with this piece of shit, and it's like I said, it was a huge disservice to the fan base. It just screamed like, hey, she's a woman. Here you go. She's the best just because. And all of a sudden, characters are losing their motives for things.
Well, that's what Ryan was saying. Because he's like, there's no motive behind it. There's no like story. They just made her powerful.
Yeah.
And he's like, everyone has a build up.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. And everything that sparked it too, it's going to sound stupid, but when we went to Disney the one year, he wanted to get a lightsaber. And Ryan is a massive Star Wars fan. They weren't selling any Anakin sabers, only Rey's.
Yeah.
And it's like, he just went on this huge rant in the place.
I can't knock him for that.
And it wasn't like it wasn't to like a worker or anyone. There wasn't anything to anyone that, you know, he wasn't making a scene.
I would go right up to them and be like, give me your boss.
He's like, she has no power. She came from what? She just can have a replica of his life. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
He started going in it, and then like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this makes no sense.
No. Like, well, that's it. That's the thing is, they were trying to bank on making a female, basically a female version of Anakin Skywalker that they like to say is stronger than Anakin, whatever. The thing is here, it's just, especially how it all, like the culmination of everything, like how it ended. Yeah. It does a disservice to itself, not just to the fans, whether it be the original trilogy or the prequels, but it does a disservice to itself because it basically says, like every movie, it puts a little bit of a little dash, like who is Rey? Where did she come from? Who are her parents? Who was this? Where did she get her power? And then every movie they just kind of go, eh. And then she just finds a new power. Like I don't remember. I think it's either I don't remember exactly, but she's all of a sudden could just use Force lightning just because she just has he just finds them just all of a sudden, but not even in like super dire circumstances. Just you know what I mean? Like it just did a disservice to itself. And then at the end, like the whole trilogy is basically being like, hey, who's Rey's parents? Who's Rey's parents? Who's Rey's parents? come to the culmination where she looks in this like portal mirror thing and try to find out who their parents is, and guess what? Shadow figures doesn't have any. Does that make sense? It doesn't. And then come to find out that she's basically from Palpatine too, and then Palpatine comes back because they're like, how are we going to wrap up this movie? Who's going to be the big baddie? We had Snoke, then we killed Snoke. What are we going to do? Palpatine. He's not dead. You thought he was dead, which basically discredits everything that Darth Vader did at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And it's that's fine. Just because I've been behind, and then he's like, I'm the puppet master. I've been behind everything. Your whole existence is because of me. Anakin 2.0. I digress.
Did that feel good?
That felt great. Anyway, moving on.
Listen, I'm right there with you. I hated it just as much as you did. Actually, you probably hated it more. Yeah, they're also firing all the woke execs at Disney.
True.
So they're cleaning house.
I think the top of the chain is Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know if she still has a job.
I think she does. I think she's still there, but they just the Deadpool movie was the big thing where they're like, So, anyways, 2018.
Okay.
Best movie.
2018.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Sony Pictures Animation. Choosing between this 2018 film and the MCU's mega hit Black Panther was not easy, but from 2018, the best film to reach out of their screens was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Just by mentioning these two films, have a huge indicator on the impacts of the Black representation superhero films. Into the Spider-Verse, we get introduced to Miles Morales, a young man's high school kid that gets his radioactive spider and finds himself learning to control all the things that his body now can do. But as this happened, I did not see this. I've seen a lot of clips. I'm sorry.
You haven't seen this movie?
I have not seen, dude.
What are you doing?
It's not my...
It kind of is.
How is it my fault?
You're a grown man.
I am a grown man.
You can see whatever movie you want. You haven't seen this movie?
It's that good.
It's that good.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
It's that good and then some.
Really?
I would say.
Because I know who Miles Morales is. I know a lot of the characters that they're talking about. I do know a lot of the story behind him because there was an animated thing with him, right? It was like a show.
Are you describing the movie you just said you hadn't seen?
Wait. Is it animated?
Yep.
Oh. Hang on. So
do you want to do like a redo on this? Or?
Well, so here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Hang on. I need a wait a minute.
Spider-Man Into the
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yep. So I haven't seen it.
Seen clips.
I've seen clips, which were equally as fantastic.
Right.
However, I did not.
You haven't seen the full thing.
Haven't seen the full thing.
Okay.
From what I've known, though, you were not the only person that has said how amazing this was. It was also impactful on the African American community, which they have representation, what they say. So that's awesome. That really is cool. And from the clips that I've seen, fantastically done.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. Looks really cool. But yeah, so
it's great. It's one of those where it's same as you could say for like Spider-Man Homecoming or the original like Spider-Man with the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire.
I was bit by a goat though.
Okay. Wrap it up. So this movie it was groundbreaking because not only was it a Spider-Man movie with a Spider-Man we haven't like even well not we but I would say like the vast majority of people hadn't heard of before.
Yeah. Being
Miles Morales. Going at it a completely different way, introducing the multiverse theory, like the multiverse idea, and it all being animated, really, and done well.
Yeah.
It was, I would say, it's up there for best Spider-Man movie of all time.
All right, now I have to watch it.
Yeah. Not just like, a good Miles Morales movie or good animated Spider-Man, but
because people were asking for Miles Morales for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One of the best ones I would have to say. I don't know.
Now, kind of in the same realm here. This is also in 2018. Infinity War.
That's your favorite?
It was my favorite. Well, the thing is now learning that I have seen some parts of the movie, I do feel bad. I really do want to watch it. It's something against it. But this year, the stuck out was Infinity War. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, evil Thanos. On a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. The fate of the planet rests in...
Bum, bum, bum.
You want to see Miles Morales? Anyways, sorry, getting off that. This is fantastic. This movie shaped a lot of kids' minds. I remember when it came out, I think I was still in high school. I think I was finishing. It was fantastic. I remember seeing it in the movies. My dad was like, "We're gonna go see this.
Yeah,
you guys have to see this movie." And my dad and my brother and you and everyone are all big into superheroes,
right?
You know, so we got to go see it. It was fantastic, and just the movies following it were fantastic. But what I like about the MCU and what we've talked about before with the other movies that have come in, it tells a story. And what I do think is cool is everyone likes Easter eggs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you see where I'm going with this? I think it's cool because you get to see different parts of the movie have small little Easter eggs of the shows. Like, you ever watch S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D., Black Widow, like all these different movies kind of culminate and kind of take together. And it was cool.
Yeah.
I think it was absolutely well done. And I think that's why I personally think, because of how big it was, kind of tying everything in, that had to be that for 2018.
No, I can understand why. I would probably agree with you, honestly. I think that because really what that movie is the first. That's the first time we've really seen like heroes lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those where you're watching it and you kind of expect, okay, because at that point we hadn't known there was going to be a part 2.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
It was only ever one movie for the Avengers and then a couple movies for the superheroes and then another Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And then this one came out and you were watching the movie and you're like, okay, that's Thanos, the big bad guy, right? Moving on, and then you kind of get into the end of the movie and you're like, we're
not winning.
Not winning yet. And then to lose like that I remember being inside the theater opening weekend.
No way.
The whole dude, I'm not kidding. You could hear a pin drop. The entire theater was quiet. And so obviously, a little Easter egg, like after every Marvel movie for the point, there's a post-credit scene.
Yes.
Not one person moved until all the credits. Like, nobody, I mean, like,
that's so cool.
Normally you'll see, like, some people that maybe just wanted to see it because it's this big name, blah, 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 blah. So they go and see it. They don't care if they don't know it's a post-credit scene. So there's always a couple of people that get up and leave. And then you have your fans that know what's going to happen. Nobody moved. Like, everybody just was silent and still. And I remember I was with Tyler, and I remember looking over at him and being like, dude, what did we just watch? Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then getting that feeling, like, in your stomach of, like,
yeah,
is it over? There's no, like, just, and then you're like, wait. And then, because we didn't know yet about Endgame. But, yeah, dude, I can see what that's.
Yeah. I remember, I know, I cannot say I had that cool of a story.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see it opening night, but we did watch it in theaters. I think it was, like, the following couple days, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the same feeling. I'm like, are we going to lose? And I remember, I'm like, I looked it up before we got there. I think it was like 2 hours or something, odd minutes. And I like, you kind of know when it starts and you put your phone away and you look at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so there's like 15 minutes left and there's no like resolution coming.
Yeah.
I don't remember the end credit scene. I
don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
I don't know if there was one. I just remember nobody moving. and just being like, what just happened?
But yeah, so that is my favorite of the year. Go ahead, sir. Take us into 2019.
First of all, we're in 20.
Oh wait, I started.
Yeah,
I started.
So 2018's considered to be worst rated movie is 50 Shades Freed from the 50 Shades of Grey series there. It coming in with a hot 4.5% on IMDb and a Metacritic score of 31. It gives a small synopsis here for the movie. It just says Anastasia and Christian get married, but Jack Hyde continues to threaten their relationship. This movie was directed by James Foley, once again, and starring Dakota Johnson, Jamie Dornan, and Eric Johnson. I didn't see it. I heard nothing but bad things about it. This was the, I believe, culmination of the 50 Shades of Grey series.
Bad, dude.
You know, I don't
I don't have sex.
Okay.
I fuck.
Yeah. Them. I don't know. I'm not really a big 50 Shades of Grey fan, but from what I've heard, the book is better. The books are better. I don't know.
Why?
I just said I don't.
Heard?
From what I've heard. From what I've heard, they're so much better. Like,
Yeah, clip
so much better.
I didn't like what you just did there. I go to your house and I see
So much better. Coming back to my house? Never mind. Anyway, the movie that I consider to be the worst of 2018 is Aquaman. You guessed it. Aquaman is a 2018 superhero film based on the DC character of the same name, co-produced and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. I guess it just cuts off there. It says, once home to the most advanced civilization on Earth, the city of Atlantis is now an underwater kingdom ruled by the power-hungry King Orm.
Oh, they're underwater?
Aquaman. With
Dude, I really don't like you.
With a vast army at his disposal, Orm plans to conquer the remaining oceanic people and then the surface world. Standing in his way is Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Orm's half human, but half Atlantean brother, the true heir to the throne, with help from the royal counselor Volko, Aquaman must retrieve the legendary Trident of Atlan and embrace his destiny as protector of the deep. This came in with a whopping 6.8% on IMDb, a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a Metacritic score of, you guessed it, 55%.
Go ahead. Say it.
What?
Say it.
What?
He Metacritic too, right?
Dude, I hate this movie. This movie...
Aquaman.
Oh, this movie... Rein it in, dude. Lock it in. You locked in? You locked in? All right, he's locked in. Locked in. This movie bored me years. Once again, I didn't have high hopes for the movie. But when I watched it, I remember vividly thinking to myself, like, it's not over yet. Not just like, oh, this movie kind of sucks, but like literally looking at the time, like, dude, how long is this? Just because I would never could get into it. And I'm not saying necessarily that it's 100% the movie's fault. I just think that there were things at the beginning of the movie that it took me out of it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, Aquaman is a pretty cool superhero, and I think Jason Momoa plays a fantastic version of the character.
Yeah,
Definitely
sure,
different than any of like the animated series or the comics or anything. I just think the movie kind of, for me, it just kind of flopped. I think some of the plot lines were stupid.
Yeah.
I think once again, it's stupid how you go from, you have the same thing with every apparently superhero movie. You have a low life or like a loser or a skinny nerd or something, and they're nobody. They don't want to be bothered. They're blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, at the end of the movie, I'm the king of the thing.
Yeah.
I can't. And that's how this movie was. It was like, dude just has fishing. He just has superpowers. He can fish real good.
He has a fork.
You fork. He doesn't even have the fork yet. And he just, and then his dad's like, "You're super cool, dude." And then his dad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna die now because of the people from the bottom of the ocean that want to take something, and my wife died. Your mom's dead. By the way, you're a superhero. I'm gonna die now. I'm a superhero. I gotta go find my people. We don't want you. You can't fight. We're in the water now, bitch. Guess what? I can figure it out. I'm now the strongest person here. Choke slammed. Bing, bing, bing. I win.
I know, like, you had to have, like, really what exactly.
Guess what? My mom's not dead. Yeah, this movie, it's not, like I said, it's not that I hate it. I hate the tropes that it relies on the tropes too much.
Yeah.
And it just bored me.
Yeah.
Really, that's all I have to say about it. Bring us in, my friend.
All right.
2019, please.
So, I'm going to tell you the movie that they say is the best. Okay?
Endgame.
Okay. Let me get there. Sorry. You're not fool. Oh, no. Anyways, 2019, Parasite. CJ Entertainment. 2019, Stuttering in Silence. 2019 might be one of the most unforgettable years in the recent film history. One of the biggest films was A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Uncut Gems. That was going to be on one of my lists. Upon a Time in Hollywood. Which, it's weird. It doesn't have one of the movies. It's weird. Parasite really gave us some much-needed Asian representation in the mainstream award shows, one receiving the Academy Award for the Best Picture. The film follows a family struggling to make ends meet when they find their way and weasel their lives into a wealthy family. The film slowly disintegrates into the chaos that had us on edge, on the edge of our seats the entire movie. Did not have the IMDb, so I apologize. And out of fear of the camera getting messed up, I'm not gonna look it up.
Okay.
This blows my mind because I knew that was this year.
The Incredibles.
Say that again.
The Incredibles?
Yeah.
You're going into your favorite, right? It was The Incredibles.
Yeah, I'm picking The Incredibles.
Gotcha.
Yep. Nope. It was Endgame. This movie, this was one of the first times that I've ever had my heart sank like that. Because everyone was Iron Man. Everyone loves all these different Wait, what?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
Oh,
Jesus.
okay. Sorry, man.
That's what we're having a conversation. I have to listen. Don't do it.
Sorry.
At me.
But adrift in space with no food, no water, Tony Stark sends a message to Pepper Potts as his oxygen supply starts to dwindle. Meanwhile, the remaining Avengers, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Bruce Banner must figure out a way to bring back their vanquished allies for an epic showdown with Thanos, the evil demigod who decimated the planet and the... Real quick before we go into it, it got an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes rated it 2%, plus 92%, so that is 94% in total on Rotten Tomatoes. This is 78% on Metacritic.
Wow.
Are you gonna come to my side now?
No.
You're just petty. That's the only reason.
Nice over here.
However, let's see here. Yeah. So you're just petty. So as this is going around, it was fantastic when Tony Stark, finds his demise. What?
Sorry, this thing.
You're good. You're cool. When Tony Stark finds his demise and all this kind of stuff, I remember when everyone was so sad, and it blew my mind that this was even going to happen. This was even going to be like a possibility.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Honestly, it wasn't so much like my favorite part, but when Thor comes down and almost kills Thanos with his not Mjolnir break.
That was Infinity War.
What? Wait, getting it mixed up. See, I don't have a great memory.
Feel like a low budget PC.
You think so?
Terrible memory,
dude. It's awful. I don't know. All I know, it was fantastic. I have to watch it again. A lot of these movies.
Well, I know you're saying it's. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
My favorite part. Sorry.
What was the other one?
My bad.
Yeah.
Damn. I love this thing. Why? I don't know.
Well, no, because the problem is a lot of the stuff I get it jumbled simply because of the fact that I'm thinking of like 3 other different movies, especially in like the franchise. Like when I'm talking about, say, Infinity War, like that, when it gets jumbled in my brain and they come back. But what I really wish they would have done is take Black Sabbath's Iron Man, and then as like all like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I watched that video too. I think that would have been dope. But they already kind of did that with the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, bring it back. That'd be kind of cool. No,
it would have been cool. It would have been cool.
I am Iron Man.
All right. Well, okay. I won't rake you over the coals here.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me the worst of 2019, my friend.
All right.
Maybe my brain will reboot.
Okay. So the worst of 2019 is a movie I have not seen. Surprising. This just goes to show you I don't watch bad movies.
Yeah, you do. Because you hate every movie.
Yeah. This is called The Haunting of Sharon Tate. It says pregnant with director Roman Polanski's child and awaiting his return from Europe, 26-year-old Hollywood actress Sharon Tate becomes plagued by visions of her imminent death.
Vision?
This is directed by Daniel Ferrens, starring Hilary Duff, Jonathan Bennett, and Lydia Hurst as the notable cast members here. I haven't seen it. I lost the ratings up there they are. So this was rated a whopping 2.9% on IMDb, and coming in hot with you guessed it, 8 on Metacritic.
Finally, a decent score. That's a score.
That's a score.
That's a score.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't really heard anything about it. This is the first time actually hearing of it, so I looked it up. So I don't have much to say about it, so I'm just going to go right into the one that I found to be the worst. So sticking, and I'm sorry if you guys listen to this don't like comic books, because a lot of them on the list here today to talk about. But you guessed it, the movie that I could not stand the most out of 2019 was in fact Captain Marvel. This movie is given a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb with a surprising 79% on Rotten Tomatoes and a not so surprising 64% on Metacritic. It says here for the introduction to the movie, it says Captain Marvel is an extraterrestrial Kree warrior who finds herself caught in the middle of an intergalactic battle between her people and the Skrulls. Living on Earth in 1995, she keeps having recurring memories of another life as U.S. Air Force pilot Carol Danvers. With help from Nick Fury, Captain Marvel tries to uncover the secrets of her past while harnessing her special superpowers to end the war with the evil Skrulls.
This sounds actually awful. This sounds so bad.
I will say, it could have been better. It could have easily, and that's kind of the highlighted point, it could have easily been much better than it was. This is starring Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, and Gemma Chan. And the problem with this movie is it didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't know if it wanted to be like a super serious, not drama, but like a super serious origin film where you have this super messed up backstory and like the super messed up thing happening to the superhero, like to Captain Marvel, and she has to find her powers and stuff, or it didn't know if it wanted to be a comedy. I think they tried to add comedy bits in forcefully where they really weren't needed.
Sure.
And I think her overall demeanor, she is kind of flip-floppy. Like, one minute she's very serious and very much like, I'm this thing and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. We
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do
yeah.
this." Then the very next minute, she kind of joking around a little bit, or like more soft.
Sure.
You know, it was a little wish-washy. But it was coming right around the time, right after Infinity War, right after, and Marvel was on a hot streak at this point, and this was one of their less hot movies.
Yeah.
I guess I will say, I've only seen it once, but I will say, I probably judged it a little too harshly. I don't think it's a good movie.
You judging movies too
No,
harshly?
I'm very fair. I'm very fair. I give every movie a fair shake. But no, this movie, I just didn't enjoy it. It was boring. There was nothing really. There's really nothing too much to talk about without going into a video essay, because a lot of the things wrong with it tie into other movies or other plot points to other things. So, in the interest of time, because I know we're kind of rambling on here, I didn't enjoy it, and I think, like I said, I think Brie Larson did well with what she was given, but I just think overall the plot itself didn't give anybody much to work with there. So I would say that earns the worst movie of 2019.
All right.
Lead us into 2020, buddy.
2020. All right. I'm not entirely sure what Minari is.
Okay.
But at A24. 2020 felt like a standstill year for the entire world, especially the entertainment industry. However, we were gifted with much fantastic films such as Hamilton, Oxford, Soul, Minari, The Invisible Man. But standing out of the list is Minari, starring. Oh boy. I don't.
You got it, buddy.
Yep.
Got it.
Yoon,
Mm-hmm.
Han Yeri.
Yep.
Yoon Jung, Alan S. Kim, and Noel Cho.
You did great. You did great.
Thanks, man. This film follows the lives of a Korean-American family as they navigate American society in order to be making a living. This film also is one to pull out on your heartstrings. Minari dives deep into the meaning of the family, finding what truly matters as an immigrant experience. Once again, I dropped the ball. You're not the IMDb. So, you know what?
You're batting 1,000.
I am batting 1,000 today.
I think your punishment's going to be just to say you like Metacritic.
Metacritic I will die before okay, here we go. IMDb gave it a 7.2 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 98% total. Wow. Yeah. So those are the ratings. Those are a score.
That's a score.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to look into the Metacritic one, because why would I do that? They gave it an 89%. But my choice for the best movie does say it came out in 2019, but also on different websites say it comes out in 2020. So I'm not going to go hunt for it. It's one of my favorite movies of that time, that era. I remember during COVID and everything like this, it came out.
I bet you
and I loved it. What is it?
The Gentleman. But that did come out the same year.
Did it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. No, it was not. I actually kind of forgot about that movie for how. Yeah. It's not exactly. I don't care what part of anatomy that it comes from, but if you don't have the stomach to extrapolate it, I fucked it up. Anyways, Uncut Gems. I almost said Hidden Gems, and that's a strip club.
Hidden Gems. Isn't that a movie?
Is
that another movie?
No, Uncut Gems is the Adam Sandler movie.
I know, but I thought there was a movie called Hidden Gems.
There probably is. There might be. I just know.
We don't need to go into it.
Okay.
Why is it your favorite movie?
I just thought it was cool to see Adam Sandler in a different role than cracking jokes, and it was a little more serious. I think it really kind of showed his because when I first watched the movie, it was like, oh, it's so good, and I'm expecting like a Mr. Deeds kind of movie or like a Grown Ups kind of movie, and it wasn't.
Okay.
It was actually genuine acting from him, which I enjoyed. Thought it was really cool.
Because I haven't seen it.
You're missing out, dude.
I haven't seen it.
I wouldn't say it's the absolute best movie ever, but I do think he was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing like one of my childhood heroes, quote unquote, do something a little different than his traditional, oh, I'm Adam Sandler and I'm goofy. I'm Adam Sandler and I can act.
Gotcha.
And I thought it was really cool. I really appreciated that. It was kind of nice too. Is recently he just did a podcast with Joe Rogan, and
Yes, he did.
and I finished it, and he goes, I always thought I wanted to be a star. I knew I was going to make it, and it was cool to see him step outside of his niche and really kind of lock in there. But it's a charismatic jeweler with high end stakes, and bets that he could lead a windfall of a lifetime with a precious high wire act. He balances business, family, and adventures, all at the side of the pursuit of an ultimate whim. So he's a jeweler. In the one scene, he has these massive NBA stars that come in, or they're buying jewelry for $100,000, and he's just taking it in, and it was just cool. And like I said, I think it was cool to see him in a different role and really kind of not come into his own. He's already into his own,
Right.
but it was nice. So I gotta say I enjoyed the movie. IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 91%. And Letterboxd, gave it a 4.5 or 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
Oh, nice.
74% like this movie, says Google users. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and like I said, it was nice. So to save me from rambling, yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen it. I heard good things about it. I think it was on Netflix for a while. It might still be on Netflix.
Still there?
I haven't given it the time of day to be honest with you. But going into the final movie of this video, this is the worst movie critics declared, or IMDb declared was the worst of 2020, was Hubie Halloween. This was rated a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb with a Metacritic score of 53.
Yeah, to start with that.
Had to. So the synopsis here says, despite his devotion to his hometown of Salem and its Halloween celebration, Hubie DuBois?
Yeah.
What is DUBOIS? It's like
DuBois.
DuBois is a figure of mockery for kids and adults alike. But this year, something is going bump in the night, and it's up to Hubie to save Halloween. It's directed by Stephen Brill, starring your boy Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Julie Bowen.
Another reason why I like Adam Sandler. If I'm gonna eat, we're all gonna eat.
We're all gonna eat. Have you seen that? With that?
No, I cannot say.
Okay, I didn't know if you were nodding. Like I thought you were.
No, it sounds really cool. I haven't seen it now.
Well, it's one of the worst movies 2020. So sorry. What? Who said that? Not me. Anyway, I don't know much about it, but I will agree with you that Adam Sandler does do a great job of bringing his Rat Pack along with him. Since the beginning, you saw them on SNL, and now you're seeing them in Hubie Halloween. They're 25, 30 years later. So let's uncut this gem of a movie and wrap it up here. So the movie that okay, this is going to be a little bit of a controversial one, but I have for my list of worst movie of 2020, or the movie that I didn't enjoy the most, or I guess enjoyed the absolute least, was Tenet.
What? No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
But I'll tell you why. You can call me dumb in the comments. You can call me
You're dumb.
Whatever. That's fine.
P-brain.
Okay. Metacritic. The thing that I didn't like about this movie in particular was the fact that it felt unnecessarily confusing.
Okay.
And this is me. I loved Inception. I loved Back to the Future. I love movies that really give you a plot twist and really get you to think throughout the whole thing. This movie, on the first, and I'm judging this on not just the first time watching it, but also the second and third. I've seen it three times now. I do understand, where it's coming from and what's going on, but it's just irritating. I feel like I'm, as the viewer, jumping through hoops to figure out what's happening in parts of the movie and in places on the plot line that I shouldn't have to really do that, right?
Yeah.
Like you can,
no, I get it.
You can have the audience confused and for the whole movie, but then you have to give them like a really strong flip of the coin. Like, hey, this is I've revealed the hidden hand. Like, this is what's going on. Not to say that they didn't do that. I just think I would have preferred it to be better. I enjoyed the movie when I watch it. I think it is a good movie. I think it has a couple pacing issues, but other than that, because this is Denzel's son we're talking about here, and it just it just felt like I said, as the viewer, it felt like watching it. Not only did I have to pay 100% attention to it the entire time, but I feel like I had to take notes. Like, this person is this.
Yeah, I'll admit.
Yeah, man. Because you and I saw it.
Yes, we did see it. I remember when we left, I was like, "This is gonna be like an Inception movie where I have to watch it again."
And I did a couple times, and I don't know, wasn't the biggest fan. So obviously it came out in 2020. IMDb rated a score of 7.3, and it came in hot with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 69%. And funnily enough, so nice you're going to say it twice, Metacritic rated it at 69% as well.
Did you just say so nice? I hate you.
So, yeah, this movie is not something that I would watch again, just sheerly in the interest of saving time. But if you got it on the first try, good for you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, and it's just also want to put it out there, I wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to like it.
Yeah, I felt that.
I wanted to be like all in on it, but unfortunately not. So,
well, that's rounded everything out, dude.
Yeah,
a lot of movies today.
I know we did talk about a lot of movies, but a lot of movies out there.
Want to round us out, dude?
I will take us out. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. We definitely put in a lot of work today in figuring out everything that we needed to put all these together. So if you did enjoy the movie, if you did enjoy this episode, please don't hesitate to drop a like on the video, or if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're listening to us through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Podcasts, if that's still a thing, please, if you wouldn't mind giving us a 5-star. It really helps us. It takes 2 seconds out of your day, but it helps us immensely. So, and if you have any critiques or feedback, we'd love to hear it through any social media platform. All right. So with that being said, do you have anything else, buddy?
No, sir. We will see you guys next week.
All right. I'll see you then.